Hi Taurus, this is your May 2015 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com, where I have my birth chart calculator, where you can find out what your ascendant sign and moon sign is. Everyone knows their sun sign. This is usually the sign everyone checks. But I urge you to check also at least your ascendant sign. Some people can resonate even deeper to their moon sign because these are more specific to you. Every other Taurus will have different ascendant or moon sign. This is what makes Tauruses different from each other. And this is what gives even more depth to the understanding. And even if the predictions are clashing and different, you will see that they both are happening. You will see that they both are happening at different levels. And there you can find your ascendant or moon if you know your exact time of birth from the planetary detail table when you scroll under the other tables. And you can find your transits for the next 3 years, which are specific just for you. No one else in the world will have it. My software calculates it specifically for your horoscope. So this is very much more, the 3-year predictions transits below, they're much more specific than the general horoscopes I'm doing right now. Or you can speak with one of my psychics or astrologers that I've scouted from around the world. I can personally guarantee for their skills, which are there 24 hours. Anyway, what does March hold for you, Taurus? This is great. First of all, till around the middle of the month, or I would say even till around the 20th of May. Sorry, did I say March? This is May. Till around the 20th of May, the 2 planets of action are in your sign, which means that you'll be much more initiative this month, which means that you start waking up from your winter slumber, which means that you are initiating, starting new beginnings, new ideas will start clinking, blinking into your mind. This is the time when the sun comes back to its own, to the sign of Taurus, when you're being rejuvenated in a sense, when the affairs of the moon, if you're Taurus moon, or the sun, or your ascendant are rejuvenated, and the moon is to do with family, it's to do with personal life. You pay more attention to your personal life. If it's your sun that is in Taurus, it means you're having birthday around that time. It's basically your whole energy and vitality is re-energized, and this you will put the trends during the first 20 days of May for the next 12 months after that. So the things that you start now, till around the 20th of May, they will affect you. The ideas that you get now, you might be working on them for the next 12 months after that. I always, when I have the month of my birthday, which is April, I'm Aries, always around that time, maybe a few days before, maybe 2-3 weeks before, 2-3 weeks after, is the time when I get so many new ideas, and this is when, for the rest of the next 12 months, this is what I do. I work on those ideas that come to me. And I start them around April when I have my birthday. But for you Tauruses, the time to start it is in May. And you can even wait till after the new moon because the Taurus energy is even more revitalized after the 18th. But if you start having new ideas, from the beginning of May, even from the end of April, the last 10 days of April, when the sun is already in Taurus, and Mars, the planet which is very energizing, it will totally energize you, give you more courage to initiate new projects, to initiate more exciting things in your life, to come out and shine again. Both the sun, when it's in your sign, the spotlight is on you. So you can, and even if you're not someone who is out and about, even if you're like me, stuck at home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I still start sparkling when the sun is in my sign with ideas, and I feel more, even if I'm not planning to do any big things, you feel more revitalized. So if you have big plans, or if you're feeling that, if you feel like you didn't have much energy till now in May, and even from the end of April, watch how you start feeling. But at the same time, these 2 planets are a little bit more aggressive. So you might feel also a bit stressed. You might be waking up with more tension in you, like a feeling I have to do something, I have to start something new, because this is what Mars wants to do. Mars wants to incite you to do something you haven't had the courage, or you don't believe in yourself you can do it. Mars wants to finally push you to get cracking on it, because Mars is the planet of courage as well. So you might feel a bit stressed and nervous. And also Mars is a bit of an aggressive energy. So some people from outside might be making you more angry, or even you might be a bit more assertive because it's in your own sign. So you become more assertive and you can step on people's toes a bit, and you can aggravate others. And if you don't have some clear plan you're following or working on, this energy might just become static around you, and you might attract aggression, or you might become stressed and aggressive, or impatient in some way. So it's good if you don't have some project that you're working in, which is the best way to use Mars in for something, some purpose, something with focus, something that needs a lot of energy and effort. If you don't have such a thing, it's a great idea then instead to start some workout regime, to be more out and about, to move a bit more. Otherwise, the static energy can attract some problems, more injuries, accidents, being stressed, if you, for example, what can help is also acupuncture, because it really affects the nerves and can help the person be more relaxed. I always, when I have a strong Mars transit, I always go to acupuncture, amazing results, and makes me more zen during that month. But again, Mars is in your sign once every 2.5 years, so it gives you an opportunity to, start something new, exciting, to re-energize yourself, maybe start some workout regime, maybe become more assertive, fight for something a bit more, fix some problems, because Mars is the planet of fixing problems, because you're not afraid anymore to confront someone and to tell them, you've treated me badly, you cannot continue to do that. Not in an aggressive way, but like stand up for your rights and what you believe in. This is Mars. Mars on the higher level fights for the right things. On the lower level, Mars attracts aggression or fights for stupid things, Excuse me. And but from the middle of May, the energy starts shifting, because a lot of planets start going into your second house of finances. And I want to tell you that a big part of May, June, the whole of June, and maybe some part of July, you will be working on certain financial matters. What do I mean by this? Mercury becomes retrograde in your second house, and Mars moves there from the 13th approximately of May. So a lot of energy starts getting generated in regards to finances. And Mars is the planet of initiating and starting new things. And as I told you, when it's in your first house, you do, overall for your life. When it goes into the second house from the middle of May, you start becoming more proactive and initiative and courageous in regards to finding new resources, in regards to making some changes in your financial situation, how you handle your money, how you manage them, so you can be more financially successful. And when Mercury also joins, and Mercury becomes retrograde in your second house, you'll be definitely either doing some rebudgeting. You'll be retrograde planet moving backwards means that you're asked to revise something. Often it's from the past. So certain financial issues from the past can come to the surface that need fixing, that need paying attention to and working more in detail. And I'm telling you, this continues not only in May, you'll feel it towards the end of May very strongly, but definitely in June, this is a big part, and you'll see the results towards July of this kind of financial restructuring, either of your budget, or if you have a company of the budget of the company, or if you have a company that works with resources and possessions and valuables, you'll be changing something there, especially if your ascendant is in Taurus, definitely. The Sun also, but maybe to a lesser degree. And you'll be either trying to change how you source those resources, where you find them from. You might be changing the nature of those resources in some way. And also, second house is possessions and valuables. You might be re-examining those. You might be, some problem can come to the surface that you have to fix in regards to such valuables. Maybe you might have to move money from one bank to another for certain, for certain budgeting purposes. And you might come up with new ideas for generating financial income, because Mars is very proactive, I told you. And Mars makes you be a bit more impulsive, but Mercury retrograde in your second house is telling you, don't rush too much, because you might omit certain details. Be careful, especially in financial things. So if you're signing documents in regards to possessions, in regards to money, to finances, you have to be a bit more careful. But when Mercury turns forward by June, basically by the middle of June, you would see that the fight and the extra effort in regards to those financial possessions or material transactions or material involvement with material practical matters will pay off. Always when the planet becomes retrograde, it demands more effort, redoing something a few times, maybe something from the past coming out, sorting out certain financial things or possession things, or some of your possessions that need fixing or redoing, or some of your finances need redoing or looking into, or maybe you, you know, some financial, material, monetary thing that comes from the past that you need to improve on, look into the details, fix the problems, and the results will be very good actually by July. Most likely you will see the results of this by the end of June. And it's a great time. Be careful not to overspend, because Mars can push you from the middle of May and a big part of June to be a bit more reckless with your finances, to maybe oversee, you know, just oversee certain details. And especially towards the end of May, be a bit more careful. The end of May, there is like a more complicated configuration in your second financial house. The last 7-8 days, I would advise you of May. Let's say the last 10 days of May. Neptune gets involved with, you know, you have the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in your second house of finances. These are three very active planets. And you're doing something there, for sure. Some of those material, financial things come up. But Neptune is making a hard aspect to those three planets. And Neptune is the planet of mistakes, of overseeing something, of some kind of, even someone trying to, you know, to promise you something financial that they can't deliver, or you seeing maybe some financial opportunity, but not actually not seeing all the details. There is a possibility of being tricked, or a possibility in regards to financial and material things, possibility of some loss. So try not to give money away. Try not to loan or give, because you might not see the small print, you know, and might end up having to pay more in interest, or, you know, something can happen that some loss of possessions, valuables, or financial things. So you have to be a bit more careful. And the last 10 days, it doesn't mean don't do anything like that, but proceed with a bit more caution. Let's see. Forewarned is forearmed, as they say. And of course, nothing is 100%. If we know and if we're more careful, we can always turn the stars or make them work for us in some way better. So, you know, be careful about financial transactions and such kind of giving money, taking money, spending, or maybe you might decide, I want to invest in something and buy something big, you know, maybe for my business, or maybe for you know, purchase something. And because the last 4 or 5 days in particular of May is very strong, this influence, you might buy it and there might be something wrong with it, or you might realize that you don't really need it. But the rest of the time, this is good. The rest of the time of May and in June as well, the period will be good for starting new financial, new material endeavors, for revising certain old ones and restructuring some finances. And by the end of this process, by June, you'll be financially better off. I promise you. By the end of June, you have revised and made your finances and material side more efficient in a sense, and maybe found a new source of income, or finding resources from somewhere and you've worked very hard on. It's not going to be without snags. There are difficult configurations that I said that will make you a bit more stressed from time to time working on those things. But at the end of the process, you'd be better off than you started, unless you actually never went to fix those things. Well, then even God can't help you, you know. But anyway, this is what I see, Taurus, for you. Let's see, is there anything else that I'd like to add? No, that's for now. I think, yes. So these are, I hope I was able to warn you for everything. So the first, especially 10-15 days, great time for new beginnings. And after that, it's like the energy starts shifting towards material, financial matters that you'll be dealing with for a while. And they can leave you considerably better off. But after a few, fixing a few problems and, you know, putting extra effort there. And yeah, thank you very much. I hope I was able to help.